I married my current wife 6 years ago. She has a 14-year-old son, and I have a 16-year-old son from my previous marriage. We normally don't deal with a ton of issues as a blended family. My stepson Joshua is nice to everyone and likes sharing a lot. It's his way of forming strong bonds. My son Scotty, however, is the complete opposite. He hates sharing and is very private. He takes offense to his brother going into his room and borrowing stuff from him. He hates that Joshua does it frequently, but my wife and I thought it was completely normal as long as Joshua returns everything later. Scotty started complaining about it openly lately, saying Joshua has gone too far with his behavior, taking his stuff constantly without his permission. My wife and I came up with a solution, which was getting Scotty a safe to store his valuable possessions, but Scotty said this wasn't enough since he has tons of stuff and can't put it all in a safe. It all came to a head last week when Joshua took Scotty's Lego collection to take pictures of it outside the house and accidentally broke a couple of pieces. Scotty blew up and got his mom involved. My ex-wife then bought and sent him a lock to install on his bedroom door the same day, which got my wife so mad, calling her disrespectful and overstepping to send locks over to our house. They had a verbal fight on the phone, and I returned home to see my wife arguing with Scotty after he refused to return the lock. I asked what the heck was going on, and my wife said Scotty was expecting her to let him install the lock his mom sent to our house. She said neither boys were allowed to have locks. Scotty said he was done with Joshua taking and breaking his stuff, and begged me to say something, convinced my wife to let him keep the lock. But I told him my wife was right, and that it was disrespectful of his mom to send a lock to our house. Scotty said if we're so against his mom getting him a lock, then I should get him one instead. But I refused to, since my wife said neither boys are allowed to have a lock, so it's not like Joshua has a lock and Scotty doesn't. Scotty threw a fit, calling me terrible, and that he can't wait to move out and be done with our nonsense. We had Joshua apologize, but still Scotty isn't having it. My former in-laws argued that I was being unfair to Scotty after he complained to them and told me to let him keep the lock and not side with my wife and her son. So am I the a-hole? On the one hand, I can want to see keeping things fair for both boys. However, this isn't fair to Scotty at all. You're not respecting his privacy, you're letting some other kid go into his room, touch and break his stuff with no real repercussions. And Scotty's basically being told that his feelings and emotions aren't valid in this situation, which I think is completely unreasonable. So yes, you're the a-hole here, and you can also expect to have a son who's never going to want to talk to you after he does move out. But I'll be waiting to read that Reddit post when you're asking why you have a son who wants nothing to do with you after you've been such a great dad.